The local reaction primarily focuses on his promise to protect America's economy. That is a campaign message that he used to pave his way to the White House.
He really mentioned the Mahoning Valley in a way when he said that our landscape is our factories look like old tombstones, you know, from the days when we had a booming economy.
I think he's going to try to get the jobs back, and that's very important to most people. Is the jobs. That's where it all starts.
Trump's pledge to start putting the country first on all fronts, including trade, is the message that made the crowd cheer again. His focus on middle American workers with dwindling hope of a strong U.S. workforce paid off in places like the Mahoning Valley, places where he mentioned only the evidence of those employers still exists today. What did you think about when he mentioned them as tombstones? We see those throughout cities, including Youngstown and Warren.
Well, it's a graphic depiction of what it feels like to a lot of people, and I can just think in my head right now of the 4, 5, 6, 7 places that were in business, 10 years ago that aren't anymore. A lot of those factories shut down, some moved to Mexico, some moved the work to China. So there is a real problem that we have to deal with, and I think he's putting his finger on it. As much as, I disagree with a lot of the things that he says.
Now, Lindsay, you spoke at length with Congressman Ryan about Trump's message that Americans are taking back their country with him in office. Any sense that he's going to push bipartisan efforts amid ongoing Democratic backlash?
Yes, but he says that these trade deals are complex. They're complex issues that are very difficult when it comes to bipartisan support. He says they are willing to work with them, but the Democrats do not want to start a trade war. When it comes to military spending, he wants to boost that locally. Congressman Ryan is very passionate about that. But he says, this is another issue where they have to agree on spending in this country, though he does agree that this is a good plan for America. Of course, plenty of other local reaction. We had folks from Warren and the GOP in Trumbull County. We will bring you plenty more tonight live on 21 News at 11. Until then, reporting live from Washington, D.C. with more local news, I'm Lindsay McCoy. Taking in this moment firsthand, dozens of Valley natives traveled all the way to Washington to witness Trump's speech. Afterwards, telling 21 News they feel reassured about the country's future with Trump's promise to keep America first. Well, good morning to you, Steve. Yes, it was a busy day and a busy night here on Capitol Hill. Donald Trump wasting no time as president to issue his first executive order aimed directly at Obamacare. This just hours after his speech, and we were getting local reaction from that all day long yesterday on 21 News. We're bringing you the latest coverage here yet again with the latest reactions. Now, his speech, it really mirrored a lot of what he was saying on the campaign trail, a lot of his messages to Ohio's working class and middle America about, rewriting trade deals and focusing on Americans again. His speech had the theme America First, ahead of foreign countries, issues including taxes, business taxes, immigration, trade. We did meet up with a number of Valley natives in our area where we were on the mall with them and also in the public area. They drove here, some of them taking group tour buses, some of them hosting events, including Phantom Fireworks CEO Bruce Zoldan. Now, we had team coverage here, lots of reaction from our locals, and really what they had to say was they liked his message again on America's economy and jobs, that he will protect America's economy and grow our military. Take a listen to some of their reactions.
When he said that our landscape is our factories look like old tombstones, from the days when we had a booming economy.
I think he's going to try to get the jobs back, and that's very important to most people. Is the jobs. That's where it all starts.
More signs of unity on the eve of Inauguration Day. A Valley businessman is helping the president-elect mark the occasion with a focus on the future.
We have to make the inner cities great again.
At his exclusive open rooftop event, Phantom Fireworks CEO Bruce Zoldan isn't shy about the fact that he's played host to a number of Democratic politicians, this time supporting the power shift in exchange for a stronger Valley under Trump's leadership.
Whatever Donald Trump means by make America great again, it can only happen if the inner cities are great again. And I want to be part of that.
Zoldan is partnering with the AmeriCan Foundation, a program that targets struggling inner city youth caught up in crime, violence, and lack of education. Youngstown native Omarosa says it's time for a movement.
My family has experienced a significant amount of grief as a result of this type of violence that we see on the street corners of Youngstown. And Youngstowns, there's tons of Youngstowns around the country.
The Cleveland sports legend heading up the foundation says it only took one phone call to reach Trump about teaming up and funneling financial support. Jim Brown stresses the election is over.
Mr. Trump is my president. He sits in a seat of power. I'm not asking him to do everything for us, but I'm rallying a lot of the great athletes, great entertainers around this country, and great people to get behind us.
Again, Jim Brown calling on the country to unify despite voting for Hillary Clinton in the election. Now, we will be covering Trump's inauguration tomorrow morning, beginning on WFMJ today, and we will have coverage all throughout the morning up until his speech. Reporting from Washington, D.C. with more local news, I'm Lindsay McCoy.
Thanks, Lindsay, and be sure to stay with WFMJ for coverage of the inauguration at noon. NBC will have coverage all day, and Lindsay will also be joining us live from Washington, D.C. throughout the day.